Should the Lakers cut Russell Westbrook? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Emmanuel Camia. If you're new to this channel, I make basketball videos pertaining to the NBA, about whatever goes on in the league. And if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and drop your thoughts down in the comments below. And aside from that, I'm gonna jump into this video. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. The Lakers should cut Russell Westbrook. Now you may say this is a very extreme thing to do, and why should they cut him instead of just trading him? In this video, I'm going to try and explain my reasoning behind this sentiment, and the short answer is just Russell Westbrook's a terrible player. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Just kidding. No, but seriously, that is true, but it goes deeper than Russell Westbrook being a terrible player. The reason I advocate for them just cutting him is because I don't really think the Lakers could get much for him. I think if the Lakers were to trade for Russell Westbrook, they would lose more than what they'd have to gain. That's because over the years, as time has gone by, we've gotten to see more and more of what Russell Westbrook is. And at first we were mesmerized and fooled by, you know, the glimmer, the triple-double. But as time has gone by, we've come to realize what he is. He's not really that valuable to a team. And because of that, the market for him has shrunk enormously. It has shrunk greatly to the point where you're not going to get a lot of value for a player like Russell Westbrook in today's day and age. And there are a lot of players like Russell Westbrook, but there are things that Russell Westbrook does that just make him more worse than these players, right? Like I always bash him because he can't shoot threes, but there are way more things that he does that just makes him worse. And I'm gonna get into that later on in the video. The media was fooled. We were fooled by the glimmer, the shine, and we forgot that not everything that shines is gold, right? We were on a surface level. We thought triple-double MVP, oh my god, oh my god, we gotta give him the MVP, we gotta praise him, triple-double, he's the first person to ever do it since like Oscar Robertson. And we forgot to actually evaluate, and we overlooked just how terrible of a basketball player Russell Westbrook is at this level. He has good traits to him, but the bad traits that he has overwhelmingly outweigh these good traits, being he plays every game, he's very durable, right? And he plays 110% a game, right? That's it. Averaging a triple-double doesn't make you a good player. In fact, Stan Van Gundy came out and he said this exact same thing. He said, quote, "In the NBA, achieving a triple-double does not mean a player played well." And I couldn't agree more. You get mesmerized by the triple-double, but then you forget just how bad Russell Westbrook actually is, right? It's like he's playing for himself. He's playing for the stardom of it, right? And he could care. He doesn't really care if the team wins or loses. All he cares about is if he gets his triple-double. To the point where he'll stat pad. I've seen it, I've been calling it out ever since 2016, to the point where literally when he was on OKC and it was time to get the rebound, players would not get the rebound, the center would not get the rebound, and they'd let Russell get the rebound to stat pad his triple-double, right? And ever since I saw that, I realized the type of player that Russell Westbrook is. And this is evident by just watching him and you looking at his stats. And the thing is now that it is finally taken Russell Westbrook being in the spotlight of Lakerland for people to scrutinize him enough, to watch him closely enough to actually call him out, right? In OKC, you could get away with it because it's OKC, he was the star there, right? In Houston, you could get away with it because James Harden also had his shortcomings. In Washington, he could get away with it because it was Washington. They weren't going anywhere. But Los Angeles, that's different. Los Angeles doesn't care what you did in the past. They don't care about your triple-double history. They care about what you can do for them. What can you do for the organization? Remember, when LeBron came to Los Angeles. The murals that were put up in Los Angeles in honoring him coming to Los Angeles, they were scraped away, they were vandalized because people didn't care what he did in Miami or Cleveland. What are you gonna do for the Lakers? And this is what it's taken in order for the media, for people to actually objectively look at Russell Westbrook. The fact that the Los Angeles Lakers are so bad, and you can't put the blame on LeBron James. I'll get to LeBron James in a while here, but you can't put the blame on LeBron James because he's been playing so well, right? And Anthony Davis being out, and spotlight is on the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. One of the most coveted, one of the most scrutinized positions in all of sports, right? It's taken that for people to realize what Russell Westbrook is, a stat pattern. And he's actually a liability. And I don't say that as an opinion, I say that actually with numbers to back it up. Russell Westbrook is a turnover machine. Now, at the beginning of the video, I stated that yes, his inability to shoot does make him a liability, right? It makes him a player that you are kind of iffy about, but what really kills me about Russell Westbrook is his horrible decision-making on the court. Russell Westbrook leads the league in turnovers with 156 turnovers. That's insane to me. A point guard who is supposed to take care of the ball. Juxtapose him to a point guard like Chris Paul. Chris Paul is the type of point guard to go 20 and 20, 20 points, 20 assists, 0 turnovers. Russell Westbrook couldn't do that in his dream. It's insane to me that he has 156 turnovers. That coupled with his inability to shoot and his inability to slow down games, because he's playing at 110% all the time. And when you're playing at 110% all the time, you don't realize there are certain spots in the game where you have to slow it down. You have to think. You have to think before you just do stuff, right? You got, okay, wait, you know what I mean? But he's like a Tasmanian devil. He's 110% all the time. These are the things that when you couple together, it makes Russell Westbrook unbearable. And this dates back to his days in OKC. It's just who he is. I remember in the 2016 Western Conference Finals, right? In Game 6 and Game 7, the Thunder had multiple opportunities to win that series. Let's take Game 6 out of it, right? Because the Thunder were up, right? Had it not been for Klay Thompson going like 11 threes in a row, Thunder would have won that game. And let's go to Game 7 in Oakland. There were multiple times where the OKC Thunder had an opportunity to win the series. They didn't because Russell Westbrook made key turnovers. It's who he is. It's in his DNA. And that was the turning point for Kevin Durant. Now that I look back on it, I think that Kevin Durant deserves a Nobel Peace Prize or an MVP medal or a championship medal or a ring or something for having to deal with Russell Westbrook for the amount of time that he did. It was like 9 years, dude. It was like 9 years that he dealt with this guy, right? LeBron's experienced it one season, can't do it. James Harden did it one season, could not do it. Kevin Durant did it for 9 seasons and it finally broke him, right? And I remember arguing with my friends for the longest time of who was the better player, James Harden or Russell Westbrook. And for the longest time I was scrutinized, I was fighting for my life in a group chat because they were so mesmerized by the triple-double that they overlooked the fact that James Harden can actually shoot threes. James Harden can actually pass the ball. James Harden can put up numbers like Chris Paul, 20 and 20, right? James Harden actually has that ball IQ. James Harden's bigger. Dude, and now that I look back on it, it's good that I get the last laugh, but it's at the expense of LeBron James. The Lakers and LeBron James shouldn't be this bad. Okay, in the last 6 games, these are the numbers that LeBron has averaged in the last 6 games. Look at these numbers. They're insane. And they've gone 1-5. That should absolutely not be the case. Yo, LeBron's literally doing everything he can. He's literally carrying the Lakers on his back like Jesus carried the cross on his back. What more can this man do? I feel so bad for him. And he's 37. Today's his birthday. He's 37. And Russell's like 33. Bro, what is going on? And that's why I think Russell is a liability to the Lakers more so than he is an asset. And not, again, that is not just an opinion. I said it before and I provided the numbers, the turnovers, right? Here's another stat. Literally, this stat measures the importance and impact a player has on a game. It's called the plus-minus ratio, right? The way you measure this stat is you measure how many points a player's team scores versus how many points the opponent scores when the player is on the floor, right? So you have a plus-minus, right? And you'll have that discrepancy. Under 0 is not good. Above 0 is good. Russell Westbrook has, for the entire season that he's been on the Lakers, ever since the season started, he has a plus-minus ratio of -87. He is literally statistically a liability to this team. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. Teams can go into an arena feeling confident, at ease, knowing that as soon as Russell Westbrook steps on a court, we have a higher chance of scoring. Can you believe that? Imagine being LeBron, you looking at that, and you're like, what is going on? He literally steps on a court and they are more likely to score. They're more likely to outscore us. That is the definition, by definition, of a liability. And it shouldn't be the case, but that's the case. That's Russell Westbrook. And this is what I think you need to just cut him. I think the Lakers just need to cut their losses, cut him, and move on. I don't think they're going to get any value for him because think about it. Who wants Russell Westbrook? Right? Who wants someone who is a literal liability on your team? If he can't succeed with LeBron James of all people, and LeBron's averaging insane numbers, where is he going to succeed? If he can't do it with Kevin Durant, if he can't do it with Paul George, if he can't do it with James Harden, if he can't do it with LeBron James, who's going to want him? Why would I give up any valuable assets for something that's a liability? And that's why I think he has no trade value. You're not going to get anything. I think what you need to do is you just need to eat up the dead money, because I think if you trade because he has a huge, massive contract, one of the biggest in the league right now, right? And that's another reason why they can't just move him. Nobody wants to take on his contract and all the liability that he brings onto the team, right? So what I think the Lakers should do to balance out, the positives and the cons is they need to cut him, literally cut him, like the Cleveland Browns cut OBJ, right? It's happened to stars before, right? OBJ had to be cut. Cut him, eat up the dead money, and you will see your team start to, at least you'll see your team start to do better, because you don't have someone on the team that's going to be a liability for you, that's going to be a -87, plus minus, that's going to give the opposing teams ease of mind knowing that, hey, dude, Westbrook steps up on the court, we have a chance at scoring because he's going to turn over the ball at some point, right? Either he's going to turn over the ball because he's going 100 miles a minute and he can't think, or he's chucking up these threes that he's missing and we have an opportunity to get these rebounds. That's what you need to do. You need to cut him. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's extreme. No. Cut him, eat up the dead money, right? Let him sit. Whoever picks him up, You're done with him. Because the minute you cut him off your team becomes better. That's statistically proven. So those are my thoughts on Russell Westbrook. Those are my thoughts on literally what's going on with the Lakers right now, because there's no way LeBron James can be averaging insane numbers like these and be 1-5. At 37, you need to let Russell Westbrook go. I've never been a fan of Russell Westbrook. Ever. Never. And I've had to fight for my life in group chats defending James Harden being a better player than Russell Westbrook. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on the Lakers situation, what I think, the steps I think they should take in order to solve the Russell Westbrook conundrum. But guys, if you enjoy this kind of content and if you are into this kind of content, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and also leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think the Lakers should do in order to counter this Russell Westbrook problem? Click here to watch what happened to the New York Knicks. And aside from that, see you kids.